Hello everyone, I Nidhi, your friend and coach, welcome you to your very own channel English with Nidhi. And in this video, we will cover a poem from class 12 CBSE English literature book Flamingo. And the poem is A Roadside Stand by the poet Robert Frost. So without any further ado, let's get started. Introduction. A Roadside Stand is a 51-line poem divided into 4 irregular stanzas that dully explains the lives of underprivileged people who live by the sides of the road and sell food and other products to earn their living. Before moving forward, let's read the poem first. A roadside stand. The little old house was out with a little new shed. In front at the edge of the road where the traffic sped. A roadside stand that too pathetically pled. It would never be fair to say for a dole of bread. But for some of the money, the cash, where flow supports the flower of cities from sinking at withering paint. The polished traffic passed with a mind ahead, or if ever aside for a moment, then out of sorts, at having the landscape marred with the artless paint of signs that with N turned wrong and S turned wrong, offered for sale wild berries in wooden quarts or crook-necked golden squash with silver warts or beauty rest in a beautiful mountain scene. You have the money, but if you want to be mean, why keep your money this crossly and go along? The hurt to the scenery wouldn't be my complaint so much as the trusting sorrow is what is unsaid. Here, far from the city, we make our roadside stand and ask some city money to feel in hand, to try if it will not make our being expand and give us the life of the moving picture's promise that the party in power is said to be keeping from us. It is in the news, and all these pitiful kin are to be bought out and mercifully gathered in, to live in villages next to the theatre and the store, where they won't have to think for themselves anymore, while greedy good doers, beneficent beasts of prey, swarm over their lives enforcing benefits that are calculated to suit them out of their wits, and by teaching them how to sleep they sleep all day, destroy their sleep at night the ancient way. Sometimes I feel myself I can hardly bear the thought of so much childish longing in vain, the sadness that lurks never the open window there, that waits all day in utmost open prayer. For the squeal of brakes, the sound of sloping cars, for all the thousand selfish cars that pass, just one to inquire what a farmer's prices are, and one did stop, but only to plough up grass, in using the yard to back and turn around, and another to ask the way to where it was bound, and another to ask could they sell it a gallon of gas. They couldn't, this crossly. They had none, didn't it see? No, in country money, the country scale of gain, the requisite life of spirit has never been found. Or, so the voice of country seems to complain. I can't help owning the great relief it would be to put these people at the stroke out of their pain. And then, next day, as I come back to the same, I wonder how it should be like you to come to me and offer to put me gently out of my pain. By Robert Frost. Now let's learn about the poet first. Name: Robert Lee Frost. Birth: he was born on 26 March 1874 in California, US, and died on 29 January 1963 at the age of 88 in Boston, US. By occupation, he was an American poet and a playwright. His notable works include A Boy's Will, North of Boston, New Hampshire, stopping by the woods on a snowy evening, mending walls, a roadside stand, and birches. His notable awards include Pulitzer Prize for Poetry and Congressional Gold Medal. Before moving further, let's cover the important word meanings from the poem. Word meanings. Number 1. Shed, a small building or storage. 2. Sped, move quickly or cross with high speed. 3. Pathetically, miserably. 4. Pled, pleaded. 5. Dole, that is free of cost. 6. Dole of bread, a tiny portion of bread. 7. Sinking, becoming submerged or drowning. 8. Withering, that is riding out or getting bad. 9. Faint, feeling weak and dizzy. 10. Polished, bright or glossy. 11. Landscape, scenery or countryside. 12. Marred, spoilt. 13. Artless, ugly. 14. Wild berries, berries that grow in the forest. 15. Quarts, a container or measure having a capacity of 1 quart. 16. Crook-necked, that is having a long neck. 17. Squash, here a fruit. 18. Warts, a small growth on the outer surface. 19. Crossly, in an annoyed or angry way. 20. Trusting, naive. 21. Expand, grow or enlarge. 22. Pitiful, that is sympathetic. 23. Kin, one's family and relations. 24. Beneficent, generous or doing good. 25. Enforcing, applying, imposing. 26. Swarm, large moving group. 27. Soothe, calm. 28. Beasts of prey, an animal killing another animal. 29. Out of their wits, their perplexed or terrified state. 30. Bear, that is endure. 31. Longing, that is yearning. 32. Lurk, be or remain hidden, to wait in ambush for someone or something. 33. Flow, that is move in a fast and uncontrolled manner. 34. Inquire, that is ask or question. 35. Gallon, it is a volume unit. 36. Requisite, that is required or necessary. 37. Relief, ease or comfort. 38. Sane, rational or sensible. 39. Squeal, a sharp sound. 40. Flow up, to turn. Last but not the least, number 41. Roadside stand, a stand along the side of the road where a farmer or other agricultural vendor sells agricultural and or other agricultural products that they have grown, raised or produced directly to the consumers. Now let's cover the detailed summary and explanation of the poem. Since the poem, A Roadside Stand, is a lengthy one, let's divide it into smaller sections and understand the detailed explanation of the poem line by line. First off, let's cover the explanation of the lines 1 to 6. 1. The little old house was out with a little new shed. The poet Robert Frost here describes an old house that now has a new shed built next to it. A shed is a small, simple, single-story structure that is used for storage or shelter. Line number 2. In front, at the edge of the road where the traffic sped. The poet here is talking about the location of the shed. The shed is located near the road where the cars and other motor vehicles quickly pass by. Line 3. A roadside stand that too pathetically pled. That is, the stand is trying hard to catch the attention of the people passing by, almost begging for their notice or attention. Line 4. It would not be fair to say for a dole of bread. That is, it's unfair to say that the stand is begging for the basic necessities like bread. Line 5. But for some of the money, the cash whose flow supports. That is, instead it is trying to earn some money. The poet here is talking about the shed, or the unprivileged or poor people in general. He says, instead it's trying to earn some money, which is essential for living and improving their situation. Line 6. The flower of cities from sinking and withering faint. This line means the money helps the city thrive and grow, preventing them from declining. Money is essential to everyone as it provides a safety net, shielding us from the uncertainties of life. And since the city dwellers have a lot of money, they keep on flourishing. Lines 7 to 10. Number 7. The polished traffic passed with a mind ahead. That is, the motor vehicles passing by are driven by people focused on their destinations and not on the stand or the shed. Number 8. Or, if ever aside a moment, then out of sorts. That is, even if someone glances at the stand, they are usually dissatisfied or unimpressed. Number 9. At having the landscape marred with artless paint. That is, the passengers of the motor vehicles might think that the stand spoils the view with its simple and unattractive appearance. Line 10. Of signs that with N turned wrong and S turned wrong. That is, the signs on the stand are poorly made, with letters like N or north and S or south are facing the wrong way. Moving on, let's cover lines 11 to 15. 11. Offered for sale wild berries in wooden quarts. That is, the stand sells simple items like wild berries in wooden containers. Here, when we say the stand sells simple items, we do not mean that the stand itself sells things. Instead, we are talking about the poor man who is the owner of the stand. Line 12. Or crook-necked golden squash with silver warts. That is, it also sells unique-looking vegetables like squash with bumps on them. Line 13. Or beauty rest in the beautiful mountain scene. That is, the stand tries to sell the idea of peace and rest in a beautiful rural setting. Line 14. You have the money, but if you want to be mean. Here, the poet says that the city people have money, but might be unwilling to spend them. Line 15. Why keep your money this costly and go along? That is, if the passerbys on the motor vehicles don't want to spend, they should keep their money and move on. This marks the end of stanza 1 of the poem. And since the video is getting longer than intended, we shall cover the rest of the summary and explanation, rhyme scheme, other poetic devices, central idea or message of the poem, and important MCQs in part 2 of this video. Let's quickly summarize the topics we covered so far in the poem. We covered the introduction to the poem, we read the poem, we covered the brief introduction to the poet, we also covered the difficult words and their meanings, and we covered the line-wise explanation of the poem, in which as of now we have covered stanza 1 of the poem, that is, line 1 to 15. I'll be back with part 2 of the video very soon. Till then, take care and study hard. Recommend the channel to your friends and family and help us grow. Also, like, share and subscribe to your very own channel for more such content. Press the notification icon to never miss an update. See you soon. Thank you.